Hey everyone, how's it going? Azrin here, owner of the Calgary Language Nerds, and welcome to today's Learn Gujarati with Me podcast episode and, of course, YouTube video. Today we're going to continue learning some really high frequency words. This is part 2 in this high frequency words series. If you didn't watch part 1, please go watch that first. The further down the list we go, the more advanced the words get and kind of the harder the words get. And so you'll definitely want to kind of probably want to work in order, especially if you have a beginner level. I will mention this. I said this already in the last video, but I'll say it one more time. High frequency vocabulary is just so powerful because we use it every single day. We use it all the time. So when you know a lot of high frequency vocabulary, words used all the time, it makes speaking easier, makes listening comprehension easier. It makes everything just a lot easier in your Gujarati learning journey. As a fun fact, I don't think I said this last time. In English anyway, there's one source I was reading that said that with 100, if you just knew the 100 most frequent words and you knew them really well, you would actually understand about, I think it was like 40 or 50% of what people are saying around you. Now, it's not actually 40% of the content because obviously there's so much they're saying you don't know, but still think about that. 40 or 50% of the words that we say every day, just day in and day out, are the same. We recycle them over and over and over and over and over and over. And yeah, like you don't need a tremendous number of words to really boost up your communicative ability and improve your listening comprehension. Okay, let's dive in and let's continue with our words here. So last time we left off at number 7. Number 7 is an easy word. It's the word ane. Ane means and. Now, when people talk, they usually pronounce it as ne. Not ane, just ne. So, for example, Ram ne sham. Again, Ram ane sham, but we pronounce it as ne. Ram ne sham mitro che. Ram and Sham are friends. Mitro is the word for friends. Ram ne sham are two people. Mari pase pen ne chopri che. I have a pen and a book. Remember last time we learned mari pase is what we say for I have, right? So mari pase pen ne chopri che. Pen is a pen, chopri is a book. So yeah, that's that. Mari pase pen ne chopri che. Next word here is ma. Ma means in. Now we take the word ma, we always put it at the end. We put it at the end of the word. So for example, pani glass ma che. Water is in the glass. So in English, we say in the glass. In Gujarati, we say glass in. Pani glass ma che. E room ma che. He is in the room or she is in the room. E room ma che. Bag ma in the bag. Bag ma choprio che. Again, choprio is books in the plural. Choprio. Often to pluralize in Gujarati, we just add an O at the end of a word. Okay, last one we'll do, then we'll do some practice, is no or not. It's actually much more like not. We're going to delete this no, actually. Pretty much not. It's not no. It's the word nati. Nati is not. So, mari pase paisa nati. I don't have money. Paisa is the word for money. Mari pase paisa nati. I don't have money. E aje avano nati. He or she is not coming today. E aje avano nati. And actually, this would be he. E aje avano nati. He is not coming today. Yeah, easy. I'm gonna ignore the grammar behind avano. We're not gonna do that today. We're gonna leave that aside. A maru ghar nati. This is not my house. A maru ghar nati. So let's do a little bit of practice with these to begin. Let's do some easy ones to start. Let's get maybe some milk. Actually, we can do water. Let's do water. Okay, so on the left-hand side, we have some water in a glass. How do we say water is in the glass? How do we say that? Pani, glass, ma, che. Pani is water. Pani, glass, ma, in the glass, che. We could also say glassma pani che. We can really flip it either way. Pani glassma che, glassma pani che. It doesn't matter which way we go. Remember, in Gujarati, it pretty much doesn't matter where you put different words in a sentence. The word order is extremely flexible. It doesn't matter all that much. Now, here we have some pictures of water that is not in a glass. For example, we have a boat that's like on the lake or something. How do we say the water is not in a glass? Pani glassma nati. Remember, nati is the word for not. Nati is down here. Pani glassma nati. Let's have a look here. What else can we practice? Let's practice. Actually, these are all pretty easy. We did the word for, well, we can do it again, I suppose. Okay, let's do here we have some books. So how do you say, actually we did that, we used this picture last time, but let's change the sentence. Let's make it the flower is in the book, not on the book, but it's in the book, because it kind of is in the book if we closed it, right? Remember the word for flower is ful. We did that last time. So how do we say the flower is in the book? Ful chopri ma che. Ful chopri ma che. Now let's keep this exact same, let's keep these pictures here. How would I say a book and a pen? Chopri ne ful. How about book and glasses? We did glasses last time. Glasses is chashma. So chopri ne chashma. Chopri ne chashma. Okay, let's see here. Oh yeah, let's do that. Let's just do like a group of people. All right. Let's maybe do these people that have no faces. Let's pretend they are friends. How do we say they're friends in Gujarati? E loko is they. E loko mitro che. E loko mitro che. Now, if there's just one friend, not like a bunch, we're going to say mitra. Mitro, lots of friends. Mitra, just one friend. Okay, I think that's probably, let's see here. Let's have a look here. Yeah, that's pretty decent, I think. By the way, I do want to do this to begin. I actually forgot. I was going to do it in the beginning, but we'll do it right now. I want to do a very fast recap of the words from last time. So we had whom for I, che for is or are, tame is the word for you in the formal. This is a, one is ik, toward is taraf, and yeah, that's what we got through last time. Okay, we did ane, we did in for ma, we did nati. All right, our first verb, karvu. Karvu means to do. So mare kam karvu che. I want to work. I want to do work. Mare kam karvu che. Kam is work. Kam karvu is work as a verb. Like maru kam, my work, my job. Kam karvu is like to do work. Now, here's a fun thing. I mean, it's more of a grammar point, but we'll bring it up now. I've mentioned this in a grammar lesson previously. By the way, if it's your first time watching these videos, I do think that probably the best way to work through my content is likely in order from like lesson 1 and just work systematically. I would say that you'll know, like it's been a number of years I've been making these videos, so it's like there's kind of different changes in style and stuff, but still, overall, it's probably the best way to work through these videos, I would think. Anyway, so if you want to say I want, remember that the word for I want is, there's a couple of ways to do it, but one of them is mare. Mare is like I want. That's kind of what that means by itself. I want. So mare kam karvu, to do work, che. Mare kam karvu che. I want to work. Tame shu karo cho? What are you doing? Tame shu karo cho? What are you doing? Hu kam karu chu? I'm working. I'm doing the work. Hu kam karu chu? I'm working. Okay, number 11, shu, often pronounced as su. Su or shu, both are fine. Asu che. What is this? આ શું છે? તમારું નામ શું છે? What's your name? તમારું નામ શું છે? Tamaru is like your. Nam is name. Su che means like what is it? Tamaru nam su che. Tame su khaso. What will you eat? Tame su khaso. You could pronounce this as well. Tame shu kasho. Both are equally correct. Tame su kaso. The word for he, she, it, or that is all e. E maro bhai che. He is my brother. E maro saras. Sorry. Wow. I read that sentence completely wrong. E bo saras gai che. He or she sings very, very well. E jhad motu che. That tree is big. Jhad is the word for tree. Motu is the word for big. Ebo saras gai che. So saras is like a word for good. Gaiche is like singing. He sings. Okay, let's look at some examples here. Let's do some practice with these here. Let's start with what's this pop back over here actually? Let's look at well, it's not a perfect question, but we're gonna stick with it anyway. There's a lady, there's a woman. I'm gonna say asuche. Now it's a bit of a weird question because you're not gonna say what is this for a human, but let's stick with it for now. You would say you remember the word for woman? We did it briefly in the previous episode. It wasn't on our list, but we did cover it. Stri. Astriche. Let's have a look here. Anything we can point out that you know the word for? Astriche. Why don't we look at not really. There's nothing interesting in these pictures here, unfortunately. Oh yes, here we go. Here a picture of two kids. How do we say? So if I ask you, like, if I asked you what this is, asuche, I prefer akonche maybe, but whatever. Asuche, what is this? You would say a. How do we say it's a boy and a girl? A chokro ne chokri che. A chokro ne chokri che. Okay. Let's what other words we have here we can practice? Let's practice with okay, let's do this. Okay, here we have pictures of people who are doing work. They're working. How would you ask? I like this ridiculous frog over here, by the way. How would you ask this person here? Scroll up. This person who's working, this guy who's working. How would you ask him? What are you doing? Tame su karo cho. Where is it? Here it is. Tame su karo cho. You what doing? Tame su karo cho. What are you doing? He would answer. What would he say? He would say, "હું કામ કરું છું." I'm working. હું કામ કરું છું. હું કામ કરું છું. Let's say we ask this guy, stick with the same guy here. We're like, hey, what's your name, dude? What's your name? Tamaru નામ શું છે? Tamaru નામ શું છે? And he would reply, did we do my name is? We didn't, but that's okay. He might say Maru Nam, my name, Maru Nam Akshay che. My name is Akshay. Maru Nam Akshay che. Now let's say it's like close to lunchtime and you're like, hey, Akshay's working over lunch. You know, he's not going to be able to go and get his own food. And you want to ask him, hey, Akshay, what are you going to eat? Like, what, maybe I can buy you something. Like, what are you going to eat for lunch? Tamesu kaso. Where to go? Here it is. Tamesu kaso or tameshu kasho. Both are equally fine. Okay. Let's have a look here. We did some of this last time too. Let's look at this. Get a picture of a house. Okay, so I have a question for you. We're going to use some words that we've covered today and some words from last time. Here we have a redonkulous little castle picture, so I'll ask you a picture about that. Here's my question for you. A tamaru ghar che? A tamaru ghar che? What am I asking you? I'm saying a is this, right? This. Tamaru. Tamaru we saw today. Where's Tamaru? Here it is. Tamaru is your. So a Tamaru, put it together in your head. A Tamaru ghar. Ghar is a house. A Tamaru ghar che. So is this your house? Is this your house? A Tamaru ghar che. What are you gonna say? No, of course not, right? Na. A maru ghar nathi. A maru ghar nathi. You say it. A maru ghar nathi. You don't live in a cartoon castle. That's not where you live in. Okay, anything else we can practice here? Let's maybe do a couple of old ones, just like a random selection. Okay, let's get a picture of a bird. Here we have some birds. How do you say bird in Gujarati? Pakshi. So you can say a pakshi che. A pakshi che. What if you had a pet bird? How do you say I have a bird? Mari pase pakshi che. We did Mari pase a few times now in the past two videos. Mari pase pakshi che. I have a bird. What's the word for cat? We did cat as well. Cat is bilari. Bilari. Okay, anything else here? Okay, let's keep going. Let's do a couple more today. One or two more. Okie dokie. Let's fix these transliterations. There's a mistake that I just caught. Let's fix that. Oh, there's one down here too. All right. The word for four, not the number four, but FOR is mate. So for example, a pani piva mate che. This water is for drinking. A bit of an odd sentence, but that's okay. A pani piva mate che. For example, if I go back over here, let's go that we had an Alaska picture last time. Let's pull it up again. Alaska. So here's some Alaska photos. So for instance, this water while these boats, e pani piva mate nathi. It's not for drinking. E pani piva mate nathi. For those who like grammar, by the way, with the word mate, if we stick it after a verb, the verb is going to end in va. For example, if I just pull open let's get like an apple. Can we get a rotten apple? Is that going to work? Let's see. If I just search rotten, I'm kind of scared what's going to pop up, but maybe kind of gross, but that's okay. It'll help us. All right, lots of rotten fruits. Here's some rotten oranges, for example. I want to say that these are not for eating. Like these are not for eating. Khava mate. Remember, the verb has to end in va for those who like grammar. Khava mate nathi. Khava mate nathi. It's not for eating. Okay, next sentence here. Hu tamara mate lavio. Hu tamara mate lavio. I brought it for you. Hu tamara mate lavio. Next one. E bhanava mate gayo. E bhanava mate gayo. It's like why did he go to France? E bhanava mate gayo. He went for studying, right? E bhanava mate gayo. Bhanava is like study. Bhanavu is study specifically, but bhanava mate is to go like for studying. Number 14 is an easy one. Is ame. Ame means we. There's a bit more grammar behind the word. There's a bit more explanation behind that. We've done it a million times on this YouTube channel. So like literally, I think lesson 1 or 2, I think like one of the early lessons, I go through like 2 words for we in Gujarati. One is ame, and there's another one as well. But anyway, ame cricket ramye chiye. We are playing cricket. Ame kale avishu. We will come tomorrow. Another alternative for that, ame kale aushu. So avishu or aushu are both actually lots of choices. Aushu, avishu, ausu, avisu. 4 different choices. Ame kale avishu. We will come tomorrow. Ame Mumbai ma rahiye chiye. Ame Mumbai ma rahiye chiye. Or riye chiye is also fine. Ame Mumbai ma riye chiye. We live in Mumbai. Ame Mumbai ma riye chiye. So if I pull up, let's get some pictures here. I don't hate these oranges and stuff. Okay, so here's some pictures of Alaska, much nicer looking. So I could ask you, for example, tame Alaska ma ro છો? Tame Alaska ma રહો છો? રહો છો is like રહીએ છીએ. Like રહીએ છીએ, so like we live, right? But રહો છો is you live. Tame રહો છો? Tame Alaska ma રહો છો? Do you live in Alaska? You could say, હા, હું અલાસ્કામાં રહું છું. Or, ના, હું અલાસ્કામાં રહેતો નથી. હું અલાસ્કામાં રહેતી નથી. I know the grammar there might be a bit tricky. We're not going to worry about that. We'll cover it later. But yeah, હું અલાસ્કામાં રહેતો નથી. I don't live in Alaska masculine. હું અલાસ્કામાં રહેતી નથી. I don't live in Alaska feminine. So masculine, feminine. Reto, reti. Let's see here. Let's get those student pictures back up. I like these student pictures. We did that last time as well. So we get some students who are studying. How do we say, this might be tricky because the grammar might be hard. You've only seen bhanava. You've seen bhanava mate, but we can still try. You can give it a try. How do you say like he is studying or she is studying? How do we say that? E bhane che. E bhane che. If you've been keeping up with the videos, that should be a somewhat simple sentence for you. If this is your first time watching, that might be kind of tricky because you haven't watched the grammar stuff I've done. So please be sure and go back and watch these videos in order. All right. Sweet. I like that. I think that's probably a good place to stop for today. So far, I've done 14 words on the list. Let's go through them one more time. We have, here we go. Zoom in a little bit. Hun, I, che is or are, tame, you, a, this. Oh, we could have practiced these today. Hoshiar. Hoshiar is smart. We could have done that today, but that's okay. A is this. One, ik, toward, taraf, and, ane, inside or in, ma, not, nati, to do, garvu, what, shu or su, he, she, it, that is e, for, mate, and 14, and we, ame. That's a good place to stop for today. Anything else I want to say? No, that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Hope this is useful. I'll see you in the next lesson. Aujo, bye.